time for another week in review on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm Joshua Briscoe, taking you through the week from 6 a.m. to the evenings here on 810. As always, if you miss anything all week long, you can catch the podcast at 810WHB.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And as always, we're brought to you by Bob Allen Ford. We start in the mornings with the Border Patrol. They talk to new Royals skipper Matt Quatro about the future of this franchise and how he's feeling this offseason in his first week as the Royals' new manager.
It's almost impossible to be in the same state of mind in season that you are in the off season, because you're everything builds up for that 7 o'clock competition, and when there's success and failure on the line every night and wins and losses, that affects you differently than when you're at a batting cage in the off season, hitting in your shorts and t-shirt and nobody's around, and you're a lot more willing to fail and to not have to worry about seeing your batting average up on a giant jumbotron every night. So I think everybody understands that within the industry. What I think is the ideal scenario is that our organization gets to the point where we provide exactly what each player needs.
Then in the middays, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson and yours truly. We had a little conversation about Trevor Lawrence, the Jags quarterback, as the Chiefs get ready to prepare for a young quarterback with some interesting pro comparisons.
Yeah.
Spags isn't going to treat him like Malik Willis.
Right.
But will he challenge Trevor Lawrence to go downfield? Because that's not something he's been able to do. He can roll out a little bit. He can use his body. He has, again, he's more athletic than he probably gets credit for. Maybe that's the hair. I don't know. But he has a ton of great traits, but he entered the league with so much of the hype of he was the best quarterbacking prospect in the NFL since his freshman year, maybe. I mean, that was as a high school recruit, he was getting NFL hype.
That's right.
And so it puts him on a really strange sort of binary of bust or MVP superstar. And if he does just end up being Matt Ryan, that's a really good quarterback. And then on the program, they talked a little college ball with Blair Kirk of the Kansas City Star, looking at Kansas basketball, their self-imposed suspension of head coach Bill Self. Here's what Blair and the guys had to say about where the Jayhawks stand right now.
I don't think they want to see Self suspended for a long time, but I think we're going to see maybe vacated victories, maybe that 2018 Final Four appearance become vacated, and depending on the depth of your fandom for Kansas, how much something like that bothers you or hurts you. But I think in the long run, if they don't get a postseason ban, which is what the NCAA is trying to get away from with not punishing the players who had nothing to do with the incidents, then I think Kansas will be satisfied in the end of whatever comes down. Now, fans of Missouri and Kansas State, however, won't be so satisfied.
There you have it, another week in review here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. If you missed anything all week long, you can check the podcast out down below at 810WHB.com, the 810 mobile app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks again to Bob Allen Ford, and thanks to you for listening to another week of Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The seasons may change, but one thing remains the same. Whether you're heading to the pumpkin patch, the football game, or just driving around the block, Bob Allen Ford is here for all your family adventures. Step up your fall fun in your new vehicle from Bob Allen Ford. Take advantage of the best prices of the season. Whatever your fall outing may be, make sure it's in a Bob Allen Ford. As my father always says, all Fords are created equal. It's your dealer that makes the difference.